Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Handling the Holiday Blues. I am Jenny Starr, and I'm the Health and Wellness Specialist for the Kansas City Public Library. Sorry, I'm admitting someone. Okay, and today our presenter is Stacy Davis, who is the Director of Mental Health Promotion for Mental Health America of the Heartland. And I'm really excited to have this program. We've had this in years past, and I think the people who've attended have all found it really valuable and gotten some good tips for the holiday season. We love to think of the holiday time as one of happiness. That is not always the case. And so I'm just going to go ahead and turn the time over to you, Stacy, and I'll keep an eye on the waiting room and let folks in.
Thank you so much, Jenny. It's been a pleasure working with Jenny over the years and the Kansas City Public Library. Our organization loves to collaborate with other organizations and provide workshops such as these. And normally I'd be in person as I was in the past, but with COVID and everything else, we've converted things online. And so I'm here online to reach out, hopefully to even more folks today. Today, we're going to talk about handling the holiday blues. But first, to give you information regarding our organization, Mental Health America of the Heartland's mission is to promote the mental health of the community and improve the quality of life for persons with mental illness. And we do that through advocacy, education, and support. For those of you who are not familiar with our organization, we have a number of programs: mental health promotion, advocacy and recovery services, and Heartland housing. In the mental health promotion program, I oversee that program, and we do a lot of workshops and seminars. In fact, we offer continuing education webinars that are approved by the Kansas Behavioral Board for CEU credits. And we do it on a variety of topics, and we invite local presenters to present and involve the community as well as collaborate, just like we're collaborating with the Kansas City Public Library. We also do information and referral, where we connect people with resources. A lot of times people don't know where to go when they're struggling with mental health. We can connect them to a support group, to a mental health center, to a counseling agency, to prescription assistance, to any kind of mental health resource that you can imagine here in the greater Kansas City area. And if you're interested in more information, feel free to contact me. My email address is there listed as well. For advocacy and recovery services, we provide peer support, and that's where we hire peers who have a lived experience of mental illness, and they help others in terms of their recovery and help others in terms of them living a quality of life. We also have a Compassionate Ear Warm Line, which is a listening service, and it's there for those that are struggling. You can provide resources as well. And then our final program is Heartland Housing. And this is where we provide forever homes for those that have been homeless their entire life. And we also provide peer support. But today we're going to talk about some of the holiday blues. And I think this comic strip kind of sizes it up a lot of times for some folks that are experiencing this. We all are familiar with Charlie Brown. He says, "I just don't understand Christmas. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down." And many of you might be feeling let down this holiday season for a number of reasons. And we're going to explore some of those reasons. Some of the causes of the holiday blues include increased anxiety and stress. This can come from, for example, divorced families, too many places to go on holidays, or they're all alone on holidays. Or there's the pressure to get everything done on the holidays, the parties, the presents, the cards, the family gatherings, or the anxiety of being with family members. It seems it's hard to find the right gift or whether or not to buy a gift for someone. You have children that you have to make holiday memories, and it can be hard if you're not in the mood. It can also be stressful if you're having to work and juggle everything. In some industries, people don't get time off with their families. A lot of people who work in retail and healthcare don't have holiday time off and have to spend the time working instead of being with their families. There's also the increased financial pressure. Maybe your budget doesn't allow you to buy everything that you see on television and in the store that is supposed to make your holiday special. Just buying groceries for a meal can be expensive, or choosing to eat out. And then we see everywhere the over-commercialization of the season, especially on television and in the movies. How are you supposed to celebrate the holiday when you just don't feel like it? Some other causes of the holiday blues can be a flurry of all holiday parties. There may be one at work with your family and other friends that might invite you. Having to determine what to wear, what food to bring, and what gifts can be a stressor if you are not in the mood to celebrate the season. You may have memories of past holiday celebrations that are no longer taking place. Maybe your grandparents and your parents have passed away, and it's just you left in the family. The big family dinners no longer take place where everyone used to gather and reminisce. Or you're divorced and you no longer have the family together to celebrate the season. There's also the exhaustion of trying to do it all, having to have the holiday fall on your shoulders to plan and create for everyone. And then there's a change in diet or daily routines that can cause the holiday blues. So you might have unrealistic expectations of a perfect holiday. I think we all are kind of brainwashed to believe that the holidays should look like a Norman Rockwell setting. And it's not, for many of us, it's not even close to being a Norman Rockwell setting. There may be friction within the family that can make holidays stressful, especially if they are unresolved. Due to distance or other reasons, the family might not be able to be together during the holidays. All of these can cause us to have the holiday blues. So who is at risk for the holiday blues? Anybody that has had a death in the family, especially if it's been recent. Those that have had financial setbacks during the year or during the holidays. Anybody that is separated from loved ones at the holidays, whether that be by work, military obligations, or other reasons like COVID. I know that there's been some new strains of COVID, and that has affected a lot of people from getting together for their holiday season. Many families are not gathering for the holidays because they are quarantined or have a loved one in the hospital with COVID or are keeping socially distanced. All of this can cause us to be at risk for the holidays. Others who are at risk are those that have experienced major losses, such as moving to another state or having a medical diagnosis. It also might be the loss of employment that is causing the holiday blues. Any major change in lifestyle, such as marriage, divorce, new baby, or retirement. These lifestyle changes, like having a new baby, can be the opposite of joyful, and many people think that they should be happy at a time when they're not. Also, those that are at risk maybe have a normal feeling of depression, stress, or anxiety outside of the holidays. So let's take a moment. Let me ask you, and let me get input from all of you out there. What are some of the reasons for your holiday blues? You want to chat those and share those on the chat? What do you dread most about the holidays? What kind of expectations do you have for yourself or you feel others might have for you? Financial burdens. Yes. Being away from much of my family, missing loved ones who have passed away. That's really hard. Being expected to be at every family get together. Someone said, for me, I don't get along with my dad and he's going to be there at the gathering. I feel bad that our strained relationship impacts the whole vibe for the rest of everyone. Or someone else has also said, not being able to see everyone because of their schedules. Or having family who is no longer here because they've made holidays more depressing. Yeah, all of those can cause the holiday blues. Being a caretaker every day, that's a stressful situation. Making adult children feel special with gifts, even though they say they don't need anything, and the expectation is gift giving. I know we've really gotten into some gift giving situations with the holidays. Lack of time. I'm not a religious person and some feel that I should go to church. Yeah, there's also the pressures of having to be someplace where you don't want to go. Well, I want to thank you all for sharing your reasons for the holiday blues, because it sounds to me like you all are experiencing those blues. And the thing that we need to do is be careful, because we don't want the symptoms of the holiday blues to lead to depression. Some of the symptoms of the holiday blues can include headaches, problems sleeping too much or too little. You may eat too much or lose your appetite. You may feel anxiety or distress or have excessive or misplaced feelings of guilt. It may be difficult to concentrate during the holiday season, and what was once enjoyable may not be as interesting. All of these symptoms can lead to depression. So you have to be careful. In fact, if you have 5 or more of these symptoms of these that don't go away, it could be a sign of depression. We also have to be aware of seasonal affective depression disorder, which is depression that can occur in the winter months and is related to lack of sunshine, especially when we have shorter days and darker nights. How many of you have triggers? What are your triggers for the holiday season? Maybe you feel like hibernating until after the holidays, and people don't understand how you feel, and it's just a real downer if you share your true feelings. Have you all experienced that before? All of these can be triggers that you're dealing with. You have feelings that come with some Christmas songs. Some of the songs that come at Christmas time, especially. Even some of the Christmas movies can trigger sad memories. Certain family situations can trigger old feelings from childhood. Yes, it's like going back in time. TV commercials that are overly cheerful, leading to feeling we are not right if we do not feel the same way. You know, is it really the most wonderful time of the year? All of those can be triggers to the holiday blues. And it sounds to me like everybody's experiencing a lot of those triggers. And I'm sure that's the reason why you're here today, is to learn how to deal with those triggers. And along with some of those triggers, you might have some grief bursts. You may feel like having grief bursts, or what we call grief bubbles. It's okay to cry and have feelings of loss, even if the person chooses not to express them. A lot of times you'll experience a grief bubble at the dinner table when someone is no longer with you. I don't know about you, but at Thanksgiving time, you might experience a grief bubble sitting around the table with someone that is no longer with you at a family gathering. The feeling of missing them at the holiday celebration can cause a lot of grief. But keep in mind that crying is okay. Some of the ways to handle your holiday grief is to choose, is what we call the 3 C's of holiday grief. Choose, communicate, and compromise. During the holidays, it's easy to drift into activities that have the potential to increase your pain. You have choices. Decide what you want to be a part of, who you want to be with, and what you want to do. Communicate. I have recently lost my mother-in-law, and the holidays will not be the same without her. It's important to communicate with my husband how he feels and how he would like to spend the holidays. We may not have the same traditions, and that's okay. Grief makes us fragile, and we are never more fragile than during the holidays and special occasions. One possible way of surviving this time is to write a holiday letter to the one who has died or transitioned. Writing can help you safely express all the complex emotions you have surrounding the season and the absence of your loved one. You can, for example, try a few starter sentences to prompt you, but your own words always work best. For example, when you write the letter, you can say, when you write this letter to someone, you can say, when I think of Christmas with you, I remember. Or when I think of Christmas without you, I feel. My favorite Christmas with you was. Or you can start the sentence off with, the best Christmas gift I received from you was. Or you can say, I wish you were here to help me with. Remember to compromise. We all grieve differently and have all different needs. Some may need to talk about it openly and be present with many people, while others may need to just be alone. Each person deals with his loss in his or her own particular way, and therefore has different needs. There is no right or wrong way to grieve. So how can you comfort others who are grieving during the holiday season? Let them mourn, accept their grief. Don't try to fix it. Open your heart and listen. Practice the art of presence. Make contact statements that are true for you. I don't know what to say. I've been thinking of you. Help them cope with their grief together, using memory boards, attend a prayer vigil with them, create ornaments, watch their favorite movie, visit the cemetery, or make a scripture in a frame. Do something to express your own heart. Send a text, card, offer more than a meal. Childcare visit and pray with them. So whether it be the grief of losing someone or just the grief of experiencing the holiday blues, let's talk about developing a survival plan. Maybe it will look different for you this year. Maybe it's time you thought about what you would like to do for the holiday to make it more enjoyable and less stressful. We're going to talk about some ways to cope with the holidays. Take one or two of these ideas and make a change to your holiday season so you won't experience the difficulties. The first thing to survive the holiday season is to leave yesteryear in the past and look toward the future in regards to holiday traditions. All of my family is across the country, and we no longer gather together for the holidays as we did growing up. It's just not feasible. I miss them terribly, so the holidays will look very different this year. Decide which to keep. Maybe the only thing you will do this year is decorate the tree. Try to simplify your plans. Decide what tradition you want to change. Try to make new memories. I decided to donate hats, gloves, and coats to a homeless shelter for men this year. This is something that I've never done before and will know that will help someone stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Don't leave anything last minute so you know what you're going to do this year. Determine where to spend the holidays in advance. Remember, others may choose differently. That's okay. Also, skip holiday events if you're feeling holiday overload. Remember, don't feel trapped. When going to events, walk away if it becomes too much. And invite someone who doesn't have family to spend the holiday with. One year at Christmas time, I knew a good friend of mine had no place to go for Christmas, and I ended up inviting them home for our Christmas celebration, so they were not alone. Keep reasonable expectations. Be realistic about what you can and cannot do. Don't put the entire focus on just one day. It's a whole season of holiday sentiment and activities. Keep expectations for the season manageable. Pace yourself. Organize your time. Make a list and set your priorities. Be careful of eating and drinking too much. Be aware that excessive drinking will only increase feelings of depression. Also, watch out for food. Food can make us feel better only in the short term. Make sure that we don't overload ourselves with food and just to enjoy the holiday comfort. For those of you that are dealing with financial pressures, establish a budget. Try to enjoy activities that are free, such as taking a drive to look at decorations. One thing you can do is go down to the plaza and look at the plaza lights. That's inexpensive. You can also do some window shopping. Go to the mall and check out some of the Christmas decorations if you would like. Or if you have family members, you can play in the snow with children. There is a listserv, and it's called Kansas City on the Cheap, and they have all sorts of bargains and activities and events in Kansas City where you can sign up. It's a local resource for freebies, discounts, and deals on things that are going on in the city. And you can just Google it, Kansas City on the cheap, and sign up on their listserv to receive that. You also can create a budget for social activities and gifts. Try to spend time with supportive and caring people. Reach out and make new friends, or contact someone you haven't heard from in a while. This year I have a class reunion, and I'm going to contact my one of my classmates that I haven't seen in a long time on Facebook to reunite with them. Do something for someone else. Practice kindness. How many of you have ever been through a drive-through and bought the guy behind you a meal just out of kindness of your heart? Invite someone to join you during the holiday season. For holiday activities, you can skip the decorations if they are too much this year. Try to let the perfectionism go. You can even make a donation to a charity that's important to you. You might even want to try buying a gift and donate it to a local charity, or make an ornament, wreath, or other decoration by hand. Or you might decide not to send out holiday cards, or shop online if you're stressed out about shopping in malls. It's so important to seek support and say yes to help. There will be people who want to help and may offer their support. Take them up on their offers. Ask for help. You can ask others to help with cooking, shopping, or decorating. That can be a big relief. Also seek support. Try to identify the people who will be able to help and support you during the holidays, and identify those people who are going to cause more stress. Find someone who doesn't want to fix you. Seek a counselor or attend a support group. Here at Mental Health America of the Heartland, we have a complete listing of support groups, and we have resources, as I mentioned earlier. So if you're looking for a support group on depression or any kind of mental health issue, we can help you with that as well. We also have support groups on physical health, addiction, parenting, violence and abuse, relationships, and disability. So if you're interested in those types of support groups, we can help you as well. One of our wonderful resources that Mental Health America of the Heartland has is our Compassionate Ear Warm Line. And this is a listening service that is answered from 4 to 10, including holidays, 7 days a week. And that number is 913-281-2251. And it's a peer-operated listening service for a person in need of support. And you can call this number and they can listen to what the struggles that you're going through and provide you with the resources and the information that you need to help you get connected with the people that can help you the most. Try to treat yourself. Save time for yourself. Let others who have the responsibility of planning activities. Don't take all the burden onto yourself. Be honest. Tell people what you do want to do and what you don't want to do. Buy or do something special just for you. I can remember when I had my first job and I earned my first paycheck, and I was so excited to be able to finally be able to be working. And so I decided to treat myself, and I bought myself a Christmas gift at Christmas time. So keep in mind that that might be something you can do to elevate, to take away some of the holiday blues. You can also care for yourself. Observe the day in a meaningful way for you. Remember to rest along the way. Connect to the spiritual. Stay connected to your feelings and look for ways to express feelings through tears, talking, writing, deep breathing, using your hands for a project. You can also practice self-care, like having a warm bath and hot tea, or maybe having a cup of hot chocolate, or taking time out for yourself, or listening to music, or having a massage. Mindfulness is a real common practice nowadays for people to get their mind off of things. And there is an app called Mindfulness Coach which you can download, that you can practice breathing exercises for like 8 or 10 minutes of mindfulness to get your mind off of some of the stresses of the holiday. Ignore shoulds. I grew up where my mom stayed at home and took care of us and handled all those responsibilities. And growing up, I have a job as well as a family. And I find myself saying, I should be doing this, I should be doing that. And we can get caught up in the holiday season and talk about how we should be doing this, we should be doing that. What you need to do is ignore the shoulds and say, who says so? There is a KU psychology professor named Dr. Steve Yardy, who has written a book about mental health, and he's also helped a lot of people with treatment-resistant depression. This is people that have depression that medication and counseling has not been successful with them. But what he practices and what he's developed is called what we call therapeutic lifestyle changes. And these are all excellent ways to maintain your mental health. You know, as a society, we focus a lot on our physical health. We go to the doctor and have our blood work checked, but we don't always focus in on our mental health. And our mental health, especially during the holidays, is just as important as our physical health. And one of those therapeutic lifestyle changes is exercise. And when we talk about exercise, this can be any kind of exercise. Maybe it's parking a little bit farther from the shopping mall or the grocery store. Maybe it's taking the stairs instead of the elevator. There's a KU psychiatrist that talks about prescribing medication and prescribing exercise in small dosages and starting and building upon that and building upon that. So any kind of exercise, it also produces those brain chemicals in the brain, which makes you feel better. Also, another therapeutic lifestyle change is omegas. Omegas are necessary for brain function. We do not produce those omegas in our body naturally. So we need to obtain those either through a supplement or through the foods that we eat. Some of the foods that you eat can include like flax seeds, spinach, walnuts, or if you decide to take a supplement, I highly recommend that you talk to your doctor before you do so. Also, light exposure. As I mentioned to you before, we're going into the winter months where we might be dealing with seasonal affective disorder, depression. So it's important for us to get as much light exposure as possible. If you have 30 minutes of light every day, that will help. Not only will that help you feel better, but it'll also produce vitamin D. And vitamin D is another way to fight depression. And when I talk about getting sunshine, I mean actually stepping outside, not getting sunshine through an office window or a car window or a house window. It's actually being in the direct sunlight can make a difference. So if you're feeling kind of low, take a break from work or step outside and get some sunshine. There's also some light boxes that you can purchase that are inexpensive that you can use for the winter months as well. Anti-rumination strategies. When we think about anti-rumination, think about a cow chewing his cud and going over and over. And what we tend to do is go over and over a lot of things that worry us and bother us. So think about strategies like puzzles, like prayer, like meditation, like things that we enjoy to get rid of that anti-rumination strategy, anti-rumination. Also, there's social support. Being connected with each other is so important. And I know with COVID, we've had a break, and some people are still dealing with social distancing and not able to gather for the holidays because of COVID. So it's important to make sure that you find ways to get social support. And then finally, sleep. Sleep is probably one of the most important things that you can do for your mental health. Everybody should have at least 8 hours of sleep a night in a completely dark room. And that's where the curtains are completely closed and there's no light. It's very important that your brain shuts down and flushes out those toxins so you can think clearly the next day. You can also seek gratitude, daily gratitude through the holiday season. Try sitting down and listing out any one of the following things to be thankful for this holiday season. For example, list out one place that is safe and relaxes you. Or list one thing that goes well in your life. Or write down 3 things you enjoy. Or write down 3 things you're looking forward to. Or maybe write down 2 people whom you love and who love you. You can also gain gratitude from focusing in on your health and think about what your body allowed you to do today. Maybe you feel enabled, maybe your feet enabled you to walk around the house, or your arms allowed you to hold a pet you love. Or think about eating, the nourishment that was provided to you by your body today. What was your favorite meal? Or what about the activity? Did you do something today that you really enjoyed? Take a moment to reflect on that and savor it. Or in your relationships, were you able to see or talk to someone today who brings you joy? Or are you planning to see someone on a video chat who fits that description? Allow yourself to be grateful for the fact that you're here today and you're present. So don't let the holidays become something you dread. Instead, take steps to prevent the stress and depression that can descend during the holidays. Learn to recognize your holiday triggers, such as financial pressures or personal demands, so you can combat them before they lead to a meltdown. With a little planning and some positive thinking, you can find peace and joy during the holidays. Make your plan. Acknowledge that the holidays will be difficult and that they may be tough. Choose who, what, where, and when. Prioritize and don't overcommit. I want to thank you very much for having me today present. Thank you for the opportunity. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Thank you so much, Stacy. It's always a pleasure to have you present for us. Are there any questions or comments? You can type them in the chat, or there are quite a few of us on here, but feel free to unmute and ask if you would like. I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording though.